Hey guys, Huzzy here bringing you another video. Welcome back to the channel. So I will admit, I'm recording this one only a couple hours before this goes live. This has been relatively new news. You can see up here 2 hours ago. A new Riot update has come out, and it already seems to be dividing people for positive reasons, negative reasons. I have personally seen more negative about one big thing, which we will talk about. But Riot, in the video portion of their feedback or their update, was we want feedback. Please give us feedback. So this is what this is. This is my feedback, and not just mine. I'm hoping it's yours too. In the comment section, leave your feedback about what we're going to talk about today. Because if Riot is smart and they've learned from their mistakes, they will be scouring the internet for feedback about what they are announcing, and that's the reason I think that they've announced it so early on. What I am scared of, and I will say, and I'm very first thing I'll say is if Riot, I don't think they'd ever do this, but if Riot was ever open to inviting YouTubers to have a conversation, to understand their thought process, so potentially we can then use our own words that our audiences understand to then send the message, I think that would be very healthy. Obviously, EA does that. They've got a program called the Game Changer program. I think that potentially could be healthy. Again, you don't give us power, but just tell us why you're doing it, and maybe we can make sense of it. Because right now, it doesn't make sense. Right now, some of the changes that they're making is exactly what Dynamic Queue was. No one asked for it. If people aren't asking for it, why are you doing it? And obviously, there is always, you need to innovate. But when it's innovation of this scale, I think there needs to be a conversation about it, not just, hey, we're doing it. So again, hopefully, the feedback that they receive, if it's positive, negative, whatever, I just hope they learn from it, from Dynamic Queue, and actually don't just ignore the community. And it does seem Riot has got better for the past couple years. So I am hoping we're not screwed. Again, I will say, obviously, I am painting a relatively negative image already about the changes. Not all of them. So again, this article here, I was like, what do I have on the screen? Do I have just me as a camera? No, I thought I'd have the article up because we can refer to a couple of the pictures, but this article doesn't really talk about everything that they spoke about in the video. This mainly goes on about the rewards, and obviously I don't want to just read the article to you guys, so I'm going to be mainly using the images involved. But basically, the new rank system is coming, or potentially, and what they're doing is that you've got positional ranks, 2 new tiers, better awards that evolve around throughout the season, and more. So let's just actually begin with stuff that I don't think is in the article, or it may be, but again, we don't want to read through the article for a video. Couple of things that I think is good that they mentioned in the video portion of the update. Bring back more solo carry potential. So they are looking into the idea of changing how you earn gold, maybe through bounty kills or kill streak gold, I don't know. But they want to basically put more gold in the pockets of people. Because right now, if you get a bounty, you have to remember that bounty is shared throughout the whole team. It's not really an individual thing anymore. So they are looking to that, which again, to me, is more of a top lane change. But I will say, obviously, they have to be careful with that. And, I do trust Riot to a certain degree. But the patches throughout history that I've hated and the community has hated has actually been the patches that top lane is the strongest. And even as a top laner, I love top lane. I never want top laners to be the unstoppable monsters that I'm sure some people out there want them to be. Like, to me, you can't want to play a bruiser that is very tanky but also can kill an AD carry for free. That's just unbalanced. That's just boring. So it's a very delicate line of making top lane, especially, one of the strongest roles in the game. It should have a place, it should have a position, but you have to be very careful with it because, again, throughout the history of LoL, I've always hated patches that have top lane basically be overpowered. So there's that. Next thing that they're doing is they are making more tutorials for new players. So if you actually look into it, League of Legends has been going towards new players for quite some years. It started all the way back when they did the timers at the top of the screen. Again, I don't think anybody asked for it, but it was basically just to make the game easier so you didn't have to time things. Again, I'm still not a massive fan of that. I miss the old times when you didn't need to and you had to rely on yourself doing it. But that was that was more casual that they were implementing. You got the blast cones and the plants and everything. They're a bit casual. Dynamic queue was the ultimate casual queue, and they obviously got rid of it. So you have seen evidence that they are trying to make the game a bit more casual, a bit more open. And they are now making new tutorials for new players, which again, to me, is fine. obviously. It's no negative. They have got auto-buying features for new players. So all of that, I think, is relatively healthy. I just, again, want Riot to make sure that they look after the current player base more than a new player base. Because the current player base, to me, is the one that keeps the lights on in the office. They're the ones that already are in. They are the ones that are invested. So there's that. The other thing that they were doing, which may go into this article potentially, but again, we're not looking into the article itself, we're going to look at the pictures, was they're doing a few things when it comes to ranked, obviously, but one of the big things that they haven't mentioned here, or it might be this point here, is they are going to be splitting ranked into next season into 3 different splits. So it's still going to be all season 9, but you'll have split 1, split 2, and split 3. I don't think there's going to be a gap between them. Again, it's a bit unclear, but I wouldn't think so. So roughly each season will be about 3 months, maybe 3 months, 1 week each, to divide the season. And the reason why they're doing this, again, I actually think is because of new players. It's basically, if you're a brand new player going into ranked for the first time, you play, let's say, the first couple weeks of a brand new season. You're like, okay, I'm gonna play in this new season. Let's go. You don't see any type of reward for playing ranked for a year. A whole year of League of Legends, you do not see anything. You don't see a border. You don't see a skin. So for some people, they may jump into ranked and kind of think, what's the point? You know, there's nothing much to gain because the rewards are so far away. Well, if you're dividing the season into 3, well, then it will only ever be, oh, it's 3 months away until I can get that border. It's a lot more interactive, and especially to newer players to get them into ranked, I think that is probably why they're doing it. It still benefits veterans. I don't think this is a negative change for us who play a lot anyway. Because again, you get your border quicker. If you achieve, let's say, for example, split 1 next season, season 9, I push really hard and get master, well then I'll have a master border for split 2, which is really cool. Like it will update throughout at the end of each split. And the final point that the reason why I think they're doing it is actually to get people playing League of Legends more. So when are the 2 most busy parts of ranked throughout the season? The beginning and the end. So they're excited that a new season is here, and people are really trying to get that rank that they haven't achieved yet at the end of the season. Well, now, instead of having that just 2 times a year, you now have that 6 times a year, because you've got a start to each split, and you've got an end to each split, which updates your border and your rank and stuff. So I think that's why. I think it's actually not just for game balance. I actually think it's a ploy to get people to play more ranked and more league, which, again, I don't think is a bad thing. I just, you know, it's to invest people more into the game. So that's that. The split thing, don't think it's a problem. I think it's actually relatively smart from a game point of view, and I think it's going to be it's not really going to change League of Legends that much for us. Next thing is placement games, so we can talk about that, and I presume that they have mentioned it probably somewhere in here. So yeah, give clear feedback after each placement game. So what they're doing, so again, there's a full explanation here. What they're doing is at the start of the season, for you know, since 2013, I guess, we've had 10 placement games that we don't know what rank we're going to end up in. You start placement game 1, and until the end of game 10, you do not know what's going on. You don't know how good you're doing, bad you're doing. Obviously, you've got your win rate. That's it. They are giving you more information, which, again, I do think it adds to the new player argument, because new players can get very confused of what's going on. Where's my rank? Where that's not great. So, and again, every single the start of a season, the most common thing people complain about is their placements. You know, how did I get that? I shouldn't have got that. The system's bugged. All that. So what they are doing is at the end of game 1, so you do your game 1 in placement, you are then given a provisional rank. So for example, let's say you were gold 1 last season. After game 1, you win, you'll get gold 4. You know, you can visually see, hey, I got gold 4. You've still got 9 more placements to go, but gold 4 is now locked in. You cannot get any lower than gold 4. So to a lot of people, that may ease the stress. Oh, God, I know I'm not going to get lower. Phew. Excuse me. And that could be for anything. Then losses, obviously now, don't really count. You can't go below. But each win you apparently get a lot more LP than normal. I don't know how much. It could be 100 LP. It could be 50. We don't know. But per win, you will rank up a lot quicker in your next 9 games. Now, they do say here, and again, he didn't mention it in the video, but give clear feedback after each placement game. So potentially your provisional rank does update after every single game. But that, again, it's just more feedback. It's less randomness to a lot of people if they know what rank they're getting through each placement game. And then also, again, it all links. All of this links. They want people to play more ranked. That's why the 3 splits are happening. And more people will play ranked if they're less nervous about what placement they're going to get. More information equals less nerves equals more people playing ranked. All of this links. It's basic game design. Again, I've got a degree in game design, so this stuff is basic to me. So there's that. Now, let's get on to, and again, the placement thing, perfectly fine with, nothing wrong with that. Now, let's get on to the topic that seems to be the negative one for pretty much everybody I personally know. It's been 2 hours, and I haven't asked my, online friend group, but I've been on Twitter, Reddit, everywhere, YouTube comments, and it does seem the one that has just negative feedback written all over it, very similar to Dynamic Queue. And I know there's such a thing that, you take your personal agenda and that's all you see, but really I have tried to be neutral. I've just been reading everywhere and it seems mostly negative. So what are they doing is they are dividing ranked. Again, there is other stuff, like they're doing new tiers and stuff like that, but they are dividing ranked, as you can see here, into positions. So you're gold 1 for bot lane, you are gold 4 for top lane, and you're silver 4 for jungle. This has to be the most stupid idea, the nicest way possible. It has to be the most stupid idea that I thought Dynamic Queue was like the peak of this is bad. This is really bad. So everybody knows what I value in a League of Legends play, and this is where some people will get confused. I value somebody that can play multiple roles in a rating to be called that rating. So for me, a diamond player isn't somebody that can play one champion or one role. It's probably somebody that could average playing 3 roles in diamond relatively well with good success. Hell, if you can play all 5, even better. But, 3, I think, you play more roles than not, and you're still that rating. Yeah, you're a good player in that rating. So some people would use the argument, but Huz, doesn't this show people that, they only can play one thing and you can separate yourself more, that, oh, you're diamond in all 5 and they're diamond only in 1? Yes, but again, it goes back to the statement of who was asking for this and why would you do it when you could just improve ranked in general. So dividing the player base, I don't think is ever a great idea when it comes to queues. Flex queue, let's be honest, has basically failed from what I can tell. No one takes it seriously. It's the joke queue. They said for a different reason why the Challenger awards are different, but there's a lot less Challenger awards for Flex Queue than Solo Queue. You can guess why, in my opinion. But yeah, you're basically splitting and dividing the player base. So much stuff in this, in my opinion, can go bad rather than good. So one, everybody's going to be sporadic all over the place, and if you're a diamond player in one role and you're not a one trick or anything like that, you're probably going to be completely fine in other roles. And how does it work? So, you're a diamond, you just play purely mid lane to diamond. You start your placement games, and you have to do something else. You do a different role. Are you then bronze, silver? Do you start over? Because that's not going to be fair at all. That's basically like smurfing. And then also, what happens about role swaps? Role swaps are fairly common. The higher rating you go, people want support and stuff like that. What happens with role swaps? Because, yeah, they may... In this system, to me, autofill can't exist. Literally, autofill could not exist in this system. Because then you're giving people a rank in something that they never wanted to play. A separate rank. So that doesn't make sense. So autofill, to me, couldn't exist in this. But people do still swap, even if autofill hasn't happened. Someone queues up as mid and top, but the top laner wants mid. Hey, let's swap. What happens then? Do you play... So if you were given top, but you're going to play mid, which rating does it give it to? There's so many outliers. To me, it goes back to the point of Dynamic Queue. Who was asking for it? I'd love to know who was asking for this, or where did Riot kind of go, this seems good? Because it just seems bad. And again, this system, so many people would think I would like it. Because again, I value a diamond player to be playing multiple roles, not just one. But to be able to spread your roles just is going to be messy. It's not clean. It's going to be confusing. It may, for example, the pessimist in me is Riot wants people to play the game more, to spend more money. you're gonna have to play the game more with this system. You're gonna have to. Like, if you're a completionist like me, or I need diamond in all 5 or whatever, how many more games am I gonna have to play? I don't want to play that many more games. Just let me have my 1 rank. I'll get to diamond. Boom, done. To me, you're kind of forcing people to play more when that shouldn't be a thing. When people just want to play League. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. Again, some people are flex mains. What the hell happens to a flex main in this system? I don't know. I just don't think it's needed. I think it's really messy. I don't think it's needed. And again, if a Rioter were to have a conversation with me and explain why it's needed, feel free. I'd love to. I just don't. What's wrong with having the rank system as it is? Like, again, for me, if you did anything to change the rank system of right now, I wouldn't split the roles up. I'd split even more solo and duo up. I'd have like, you could have a pure solo rank and a pure duo rank and then flex queue. To me, that would be a better change than this. To me, it's just bad idea. Ugh, really bad. Anyway, because again, the thing with the provisionals, and what I will say, the messy thing about this is I doubt that, let's say you get diamond with mid, I doubt you're going to be starting from ground zero in your placements if you went to a different role. But so that would benefit you one-tricking a role to get to a high rating, and then you'll have higher MMR for your other role placements. That's also kind of stupid. It's like you're working the system and stuff. Like, I really hope Riot don't go through with this, man. I really, really, really hope. And again, as a selfish point of view, and again, this doesn't go towards my decision-making of not liking this. Unranked to Diamond is my staple series. What do I do then? You know, do I do Unranked to Diamond mid? Do I do Unranked to Diamond top? What's my Unranked to Diamond? Because it's going to take a lot longer to climb now. Because again, a lot of people wanted to climb quicker. Well, if you're spreading your rank over to 2 different roles and each have an individual rank, it's going to take a hell of a lot longer to climb to a rating that you actually want, because you're not guaranteed, unless you are in this system, unless they're changing it, unless you're guaranteed to only get the one role you queue up for, which again, I don't think is a good idea, then I don't think it's great. Because again, I value people that can play multiple roles. All the system is going to do is narrow people's field of view. I want to get diamond, I'm only going to play mid. So hey guys, just a very quick, I know this is a bit weird, but when I was watching this back, because I always watch back my discussions to make sure they're not all over the place, I actually came up with another idea of why this is actually a really bad idea. And instead of recording another, 20-odd minute video again from the beginning, I just thought I'd jump it in here. Hopefully that's okay. But it's the idea of most people would just want the shiny badge. Again, a lot of people in ranks are like, I want to get gold, I want to get plat. And the easiest way of doing that with this system will be just playing 1 rating, because obviously you'll get higher rating quicker if you do that. It's going to make the system really bad, like ranked in general, when people are in their off roles, because they won't care at all. Riot, and I just saw they confirmed that the rewards based from, let's say, getting diamond in 1 role will be the exact same across all of them. So all you need to do is get 1 role to diamond. So if, let's say, you queue up as mid and top and you are trying to get your mid to diamond and you don't care about your top, it's like, oh, for God's sake, I don't care about this top rating at all. I want to get mid. So are you going to try it all in your top lane games? Not as much. It's not the rating you're after. It's basically the equivalent of basically putting, in a weird way, people with the mindset of ranked, of we want to win, my rating, who get on their main role, and then basically putting normal game players in that same game, because they're not going to care about at all the rating that they're on, because that's not the rating that they're going for to get their rewards. I think that's also going to be a really big mess. But anyway, going to continue the video. Again, let me know what you think about that. Boom. Where before, they may have gone, because it's the same rank, oh, I'll play a top lane game. I don't want a community, and I hope most people don't, that only people play one little thing. That's boring. That's honestly really boring. But that's just me. Again, I'm quite passionate about this, but again, as I said earlier, I think I said, the only other time that I've had a gut feeling that something is not going to work and it's going to be hurting the game rather than helping it, and I promise you now, I have not had this feeling much. The only other one I had was Dynamic Queue. I've got the same feeling about this. I don't know. I'm not looking forward to it, but that's just me. And again, you've got here, you got all the information and, rewards. Again, rewards for playing more, play our game more, spend more money. It does. This seems like a corporate decision, not a game balance decision to me. And you know, that's my just opinion. If a game designer were to say no, this is game design reasons, and they talk to me about it and explain it, then I may change my mind depending if it's a valid reason. But right now, it just seems a bit bad for me. But that's going to be it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Please join in on the conversation. I am really wanting to hear what you guys think about this, because again, I may be batting out of left field. I have seen all negative feedback already, but maybe there's someone that loves this idea. I don't know. I really don't. So anyway, if you guys did enjoy, throw a like on it, subscribe if you haven't. I'll see you guys next time. See you.